Welcome. I'm back with another reading. I'm back with another chapter reading. And you know who you with. Am I recognizable? You know who you with, right? You with the nasty pastor. Peep this out. We get ready to get into this chapter reading of the Fall of America. And so far I've been enlightening. You know what I mean? So far I've been kind of like right on point with a lot of things. And I must say this, you know, I must say this that I'm starting to understand and see where the judgment been placed. I'm starting to understand and see that we as a black community been divided. I mean, it's probably, man, yeah. Would you get 12 slices of pizza in a pie? Good. It's probably 12 different sides of the black community. And it's time to figure it. No, we wasn't raised together. No, we as individuals have our own ways and thoughts of looking at life. But when we are coming together as a community, that means we have to agree on one common cause, one common idea, one common solution, one common answer. I believe this is where I left off at. I really do. And let's get into this. Please, if you got the time, before you start viewing this, hit the pause button. And subscribe if this is your first time viewing this. Subscribe if you have viewed it, streamed it, and you're undecided whether or not to subscribe. By now, subscribe. If you have came back the second time around, subscribe, because it don't do nothing but get better. Although we are chosen of God, you get it? Although we are chosen of God. And see, this is the part, right? I'm understanding that the background of Islam is Arabic. You understand me? Don't get me wrong, you have Moors from out of Africa. You feel what I'm saying? But the root of Islam, that's Middle Eastern. That's the Mediterranean. You got what I'm saying? You get it. The culture does change because there's an African root in it if you're a Moor. You feel what I'm saying? But if you a Muslim from out of the Middle East, like them Iranians, Iraqis, you know what I'm saying? It's different there for the Moors. You feel what I'm saying? They're not on the same level of thinking. They're not on the same level of doing. They're not on the same level of teaching Islam. It's totally different. As far as I know, and I pray to Amun that I'm correct, we don't have Moors of the Islam faith out here being terrorists. We don't have Moors of the Islam faith in the now still trying to sell drugs, still trying to do drugs. I'm hoping the Moors have uplifted the community so far that drugs are outlawed. When it comes to justice, the so-called American Negroes are the most deprived people on the planet Earth. Had justice prevailed, there would be no need for a day of judgment to come today to plead. Not to the unjust judges of the world, but to the just judge to give the black man of America justice. I want to pause right there and I want to really, talk about being, how they said, deprived. You know what I mean? I'm going to say this to you right here. That's a curse that had been put on the black community that has not been lifted. And we keep allowing this curse to travel within our generations. And this was done before Christ. Everything Amun did up in Kemet, ancient Egypt, those 7 plagues, you feel me? How we treated these Jews, you feel me, was wrong. So what I say to you is this right here, you know, I'm not saying to you or explaining to you, go out here and kiss a Jew butt. You feel me? I'm not saying to you, go out here and bow your head to a Jew to have favor. What I'm asking you to do is to think. What I'm asking you to do, if you're having kids, if you have kids, is to help them see people for who they are. Help them see life for who they are. And along the way, if there's a rebuttal, mama, daddy, you don't know them. Why don't you take the time to look at them? Why don't you invite the friends over without questioning what they doing? Putting them in situations where that when they answer you, their tone may be a little loud, which you don't like. Their direction within your home, within your backyard, within your front yard, the actions they're showing you, you know, you basically provoke them to show you something wrong with them, some anger within them. And that's not how you do that. You have to just sit back and watch people. You have to sit back and give people enough rope to hang their self so that what you're teaching your babies, they can see. That just judge is Allah. God, we have come to the end of the days of the unjust judges. Even though it may offend some, you must know the truth of it all. The truth hurts the guilty. You get it? The truth hurts the guilty. What I say, if you really been following me and you really been understanding me, I'm going to say this to you right here. You know, I've already talked about it in the Life and Times, in the Love and Respect experience. I don't believe I ever would have put my hands on a man or a woman if they wouldn't have kept lying to me in my face. I don't believe I would have ever. If the truth would have came out their mouth, I would have processed it right there in their face, walked away with some understanding, sat down somewhere, especially with my woman, and figure how to make things better. But to sit and keep lying, and the truth is running through my brain. You understand what I'm saying? You get it? The truth is running through my brain. According to the saying of Jesus, the truth will make us free. You get it? The truth will make us free. That's why I don't lie no more. You understand? I refuse to lie to anyone. I may omit some things because it ain't none of your business. You feel me? If you ask the right question, I'm going to give it all to you. If you can't ask the right question, I'm going to shut up. The imperative need is for a clear-cut definition of that truth that will make us free. We must distinguish between the truth and the false so-called truth that have been handed down to us from generation by our slave masters. We have been falsely taught that the truth was the matter of Jesus' birth and death. It has been taught, and this is also false, that the truth is the revelation of Christianity. Neither of these is the truth. Neither of these will make you free. The truth to freedom is the knowledge of God and the devil. Truth of yourselves others in the real religion of God. Let me say this right here. You know, I'm gonna back that up on the minister. You know what I mean? On Mr. Muhammad. You know, Minister Elijah Muhammad. I'm gonna say this to you right here. Being that I'm a Kenite, I've learned that history started in Africa. Being that I'm a Kenite, I've seen the stories. I've read the stories of Isis, Osiris, Horus, which is, you know, Horus supposed to be the sun, if I'm correctly, if I haven't forgot it, if I'm not off beat. I do a lot, you know what I mean? It's a lot stuck up in here. Sometimes I have to come back and catch myself, but I say this to you. The story of Jesus is the same story of Isis, Osiris, and Horus. Horus is another name that they say Heru. You feel me? Heru. Isis is Isis. Osiris, as we just went over, if you saw the previous, if you saw chapter 27 reading, why Cyrus? You feel me? There's names of Asa. You got what I'm saying? I've heard 3 different names to our ancestors: Isis, Osiris, and Horus. You understand me? So if you think the walk of Jesus is not true, it is. It's just been put into another culture, told their way to motivate their people. You feel me? To cultivate their people into motivation, to cultivate their people into a civilization of success. How mistaken you are to assume that Jesus was the final word of truth. Jesus himself admitted he could not tell it all, yet he promised that God would send one who would not only reveal the ultimate truth, but who would reveal it to the people lying in the mud of ignorance and shame. Well, you know, to toot my horn, when I got back to my home, my place of birth, Richmond, Virginia, 2017, April, a lot of y'all was lying in mud. A lot of y'all was lying in shame, but you never realized it because you what? Having so much fun. Your life was going so fast that you never sat back and realized, oh man, I just been gang raped. Oh man, I got 20 felonies that can send me away for life. Oh man, they just killed my mom because of something I said out my mouth. Oh man, my supposed to be husband, my baby daddy, a drug addict. You feel me? But not being able to see what your baby daddy, your to-be husband is, because he keep bringing money in the house. He keep fueling the perception of I'm handling this. You got what I'm saying? I got this under control. So most people, most women, most men not gonna say nothing. You got what I'm saying? The day that you can't produce, the day that you feel like, okay, I'm gonna take this money and go get high and not take this money in the house to my spouse, to my woman, to my man to get these bills paid or to get some milk for our baby, put some shoes on our baby's feet, is the day that there's a complaint being started. There's an argument brewing. If you nip it at the bud, you feel me? That's why I say you gotta look ahead. If you nip it at the bud, you nip it from the jump, you feel me? Things can proceed on a level of understanding.